It was early fall, just a few weeks before Wyatt and his brothers took on Ike Clanton and the others. I was standing outside the Birdcage Theater. The gun smoke was getting on top of us and into my nostrils. My mother tried to cover my eyes away from the scene, but I pulled away from her, and as the smoke cleared, I could see someone standing above the other three figures. I'll remember the next moment until the day I die. They looked over at me, winked, then wiped a smear of blood from their top lip, and then turned and walked away.
Jack, I'm assuming
Yeah.
you've heard of Tombstone
Yes.
and Wyatt Earp
Yeah.
and the gunfight at the OK Corral.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So a couple of weeks before the gunfight at the OK Corral,
Yeah.
in Tombstone, outside the Birdcage Theatre,
Yeah.
was another altercation, another gunfight
Right.
between four people.
Okay.
The Birdcage Theatre sounds quite posh, but it was some of the other things that happened there were, it was a brothel, it was a bar,
Right.
and also it was a hotel.
Okay.
So in the altercation,
Yeah.
there was four people,
Yeah.
and I've got photos of those four people. Annie Bayliss,
Yeah.
Annie Bayliss,
Yeah.
Dan Cutter,
Mhm.
Amos Boone,
Yeah.
and Tom Fuller.
Okay.
All a bit dodgy in their own kind of feelings. One of them survived. These were the four that took part in the gunfight.
Yeah.
One of them survived.
Okay.
The survivor also was the owner of this pocket watch.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do is to take hold of the pocket. Now this is going to be a little bit weird for you because you're going to do something without knowing how you're doing it or what you're doing, but just go with it.
Okay.
Take hold of the pocket watch.
Yeah.
And hold it in both hands.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Put one hand over the other. That's it.
Yeah.
Kind of get a feeling. You're going to get a feeling of the person that owned that pocket watch, because if you have a look at these four, it was one of these four.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to know 100%, so you're going to have a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
But in a second, you're kind of going to get a feeling of who it was that won the gunfight, the owner of that pocket watch.
Right.
When you get that feeling, put the pocket watch on top of the photo of that person.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Now, that might be in 2 seconds, it might be in 10 seconds. Once you get that urge, put the pocket watch onto that person.
Okay. Feel like it's that person.
That just felt right.
Yeah. I just kept my gut just went like that.
Now, the thing is, it was that person.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
And everybody picks that person once they hold that pocket watch.
Right.
For me to say that, I could just be saying it. So you're kind of going to want some sort of proof, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you turn over each picture,
Yeah.
you'll see on the back, here's an obituary. Bailey,
yeah. Okay. Right.
Dan Cutter, there's also his obituary.
Yeah.
Amos Booth, there's his obituary.
Yeah.
But on Tom, there's a photo of Tom in 1907 when he was an old man, just proving
Okay. Right.
he measured through the altercation.
Right. What? Okay. Fair enough. That's mad.
Welcome along, guys, to the tutorial for Dead Rebel's new production, The Altercation. Just want to say before we get started, a massive thank you to you guys for buying it in the first place. We really do appreciate it. Also, huge thank you to Andy Nyman for giving us his blessing to be able to do a cover version of what is already a fantastic effect, Killer Elite. And also a huge thank you to Peter Nardi and the guys at Alakazam for their advice and for also releasing this as a special edition. So thank you. And without further ado, we will get into the tutorial for The Altercation. So what you will have received in your pack is a pocket watch and a leather holder, which we will get back to in a second. You've got your box, which you can use in the presentation. We'll go into two presentations in a second. Your tutorial card, which obviously you've used to get here in the first place. A leather wallet. You've got two newspaper reports, two newspaper cuttings, and inside the wallet, or the wallet's got two compartments, one large one and one smaller one. The smaller one you'll find a chip, poker chip, and inside the main compartment you'll find the cards with the 4 people that took part in the altercation. If you have Andy Nyman's Effect Killer Elite or Killer Elite Pro, you all know that the method, as is the method for the altercation, is a 4-way out. So whichever person your spectator picks, then we will have a reveal for that person. So without going into presentations, what I'll first do is I'll go through each out for each character. So if we start with Amos Boone, so you get the wallet out, show your spectator the 4 cards, go through the story of the Birdcage Theatre and the gunfight that happened. Basically, the out for Amos Boone is either the pocket watch or the poker chip. You don't use those in the same effect. This is just for a different handling. If you wanted a lighter version that was all self-contained in the wallet, we've given you the poker chip. If you want to do more of a parlour version, which contains the box and the watch itself, then that will be the reason for using the watch. So the brilliant thing is the fact that you can handle, so you go into the story that the person who survived the altercation had a pocket watch, and this is their pocket watch, and then you give this to your spectator and they place it down. And if they place it on Amos Boone, which is, we're now showing you the out for that, then on the back of the holder, the leather holder for the pocket watch has got the name Amos Boone. So that's the reveal for that one. Like I said, the good thing about it is it's not inscribed on the back of the watch. So this, you can hand this out and they can inspect that all they want. The reveal is on the back of the pocket watch holder. Your effect ends there. If you're doing the other version with the poker chip, then obviously you haven't shown them the pocket watch. The story is that the person that survived is the owner of this is their lucky poker chip. That goes on, and then the reveal is you turn it over and that's Amos Boone. The reveal for Tom Fuller, you still give them the pocket watch to place down on whichever person they think was the survivor, and when they place it on Tom, you can then prove that it was him by turning over the other 3 cards. And what we've done is we've created an obituary which was written in the local newspaper at the time, and that's the obituary for each one of the people that got killed. And the proof that it was Tom was, there's a photograph of Tom in 1907 when he was 74 years old, hence proving that he survived the altercation. So that's the reveal for Tom. The reveal for Dan Cutter, again, you place your cards out without flashing the other side. Get your spectator to take the watch who belonged to the person that survived. And if they pick Dan Cutter, the reveal for Dan is on one of the newspaper clippings. So you go back to the wallet and you can now give this to your spectator, because you're kind of clean with as far as this is concerned. You can show them there's another partition or another side to the wallet. They go in, take out the newspaper clipping, show them, or they can have a look. There's no other newspaper clippings, and they can then read, or you can read, the fact that the Dan Cutter was the survivor. This is just like a little brief explanation of what happened on the evening of the gunfight, and that's the reveal for Dan Cutter. The reveal for Annie Bayliss is pretty much the same as Dan Cutter. So if your spectator chooses Annie Bayliss, you do the reveal as in it's a newspaper cutting, the same newspaper cutting that you've got the Dan Cutter out, which is in the wallet, except we placed it on the inside of the box. So obviously the wallet doesn't even come into it again. The reveal is on the inside of the box for Annie Bayliss. Below the video, you've also got a link. There'll be a few links. One will be to have a PDF of these if you wanted to print them off and have more, and so you wanted to do a slightly different out or put them somewhere else, then you can reprint these to use them slightly differently if you come up with another way than what we have done. Also, there will be a PDF of the news report of the altercation. So if you wanted to use that in the backstory, then you can do. It just fleshes out the story. Obviously, you don't have to use the same story that we've come up with. You can come up with your own. And also, we've created an old recording of a guy called Roy Purdy, and the recording was made in 1945. But he gives just a short account of him when he was a little boy. He was outside the Birdcage Theatre with his mum, and they witnessed the event take place. So it's just a little voice recording of him when he was an old man, relaying what happened when he was a 5-year-old boy in Tombstone outside the Birdcage Theatre. So if you wanted to use that, then you can download that too. Another handling that you can do if you're doing walk round to make it slightly easier, if you didn't want to use the box and you didn't want to use the pocket watch, this is the reason you've got the poker chip, so everything can be contained inside inside the wallet. So all the cards can go inside, the chip can go inside, and it's all self-contained. The reveal, instead of having the reveal on the box, because you've got two compartments, you've just put one reveal in one compartment for Dan Cutter and the other one for Annie Bayliss in the other compartment. And then when you take your chip out, you can just take the chip out without showing them if there's anything inside. The only thing you can't do is not quite so clean, so you can't really hand that to your spectator to take out like the other version, because the other version, the reveal is on the inside of the box. You can't really give it to them because they might, if they wanted to, kind of have, it's not so clean. You can't tell them to open both partitions and have a look. But you don't really need to do that. You can just hand it to them anyway. I don't think there's going to be any heat. They're not going to say, oh, can I have a look in the other compartment? But that's the reason you got the poker chip as well. If you wanted to do just to give you a bit more pocket space if you're doing a walk around or something like that. So that's that one. I just want to say a massive thank you again for buying the Altercation. We really do appreciate it. So thank you. If I've not covered anything that you want to know or explained it very well, then please, you can message me on Facebook, Dead Rebel Magic, or on Instagram, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And yeah, thank you. The cards, as you use them, they're going to start to get a little bit older and a little bit more frayed, and they'll probably look a little bit more the part. That's why we haven't laminated them, because that just kind of takes away from the old style of it all. So thanks again, and we really hope you enjoy performing the Altercation.